Hi there, Eve here from Vitamin Eve Nutrition Counseling. And before I get started, I just want to thank you all for subscribing to these videos, leaving your comments, and in fact, this video is inspired by one of the subscribers. So thank you all for joining me today, and I will be talking about how to work with elevated insulin, elevated blood sugar level, diabetes, without going crazy. So it was a request from a subscriber with the handle I am aware. Hi Annie, how are you? This video is for you and for anybody else out there who is struggling with blood sugar issues and how to work with that without going crazy. First of all, I want to begin by just sharing that it's not your fault. And some of you may not need to hear this, and some of you may, especially with a condition like elevated insulin levels or elevated blood sugar levels. There seems to be a lot of information like I caused it, it's my fault, there's something wrong with me. And so I just want to begin by saying that's not the case. It's not your fault. There are many factors that may make somebody predisposed to these issues, so it's not your fault. And the good news is there lifestyle shifts and modifications could help some people, and that's what I want to talk about now, as well as a mindset to help you deal with all of this. So the reason why, this is a very great topic, I'm so glad you brought it up, Annie, is because regulating blood sugar levels could be challenging when your sugar is compromised. And the reason is it's hard to distinguish between hunger, low blood sugar levels, and high blood sugar levels. The symptoms for people may feel very much the same. So being hypoglycemic or having low blood sugar, or being hyperglycemic, having elevated blood sugar levels, may be hard to distinguish and recognize in the body. And that's not necessarily the worst news, because it could actually help you become more sensitized or to be on the lookout for your first signs of hunger. So not letting yourself get too hungry is going to be really important when it comes to regulating your blood sugar levels. So what that could mean is, having food on hand. So if you get hungry and it's not yet time to eat, but you're noticing you're becoming hypoglycemic or you're feeling the shakes or something, that you have food available that works for your body. More on that in just a minute. So that could be really important to carry with you. Another thing I want you to know when you're dealing with low blood sugar levels, and I have my notes here to keep me on track, is that having a glucose meter could be really helpful. Listen, if your insulin is elevated, you may or may not be able to identify if your blood sugar levels are going too high using a glucose meter. So this advice is not for everybody, but for those of you who are in the pre-diabetes stage or who actually have diabetes, I can't emphasize enough how much testing could really help you understand your body and know how different foods impact your blood sugar levels. Another really important tip, and this is not just for people who have blood sugar issues, I just want to have this out there, is to anticipate getting hungry. Anticipate that you will need food and have food available for yourself. I know I kind of mentioned that earlier, but I want to mention that again because the truth is, when your body is starting to have a hard time regulating blood sugar levels, I do little waves like this because that's basically what it's like. It's really important for you to be aware of that and to be mindful that you are going to need to eat in a few hours and actually have that food available. Which brings me to the next topic, is having a balanced plate. So this is not a diet. You do not have to avoid carbs. And in fact, I want you to actually include carbohydrates. And this is where working with a dietitian or a doctor or a nurse is really critical when it comes with diabetes. And obviously this video isn't meant to replace medical advice, and I highly recommend, if this is you, if you have blood sugar issues or you feel you might, going to the doctor is so important to help regulate this, because there's so much you could do. So in your plate, when you are planning your plate, you want to think about actually including a source of carbohydrates. The amount and the type that you choose really makes a difference, so educating yourself on carbohydrates is key. So there's so many resources out there, ranging from the American Dietetic Association, the American Diabetic Association. I don't know what country you're in. Those are the ones that I reference sometimes when I'm wanting to access more information. So again, that's American Diabetic Association, has great resources on how to plan your plate, because you do want to include carbs, but you want to also balance that out with proteins and fats. So take a look if you want more information, and I'll include the link below in the description. And finally, the next thing I want you to know is learning how to distinguish between physical hunger and emotional hunger is key. Okay, this is really important because when you're starting to feel physically hungry, it could be an indicator that your body does need food, and yes, you want to go eat it. But if you're not physically hungry and you're feeling that emotional hunger, learning how to work with that without using food is really important here because, and of course it depends on what you eat. Eating when you're not hungry, eating that extra could cause even more issues with blood sugar levels. And I don't want to be blaming or shaming. I'm not at all. I just want to say if this is an issue for you, great that you know that. And this might be a good reminder to start learning tips and tools on how to work with your feelings without using food. Trust me, I know that's way easier said than done. It takes some time, it takes some patience and training and learning, but there's so many resources out there that could help you. So I hope this video was helpful on how to deal with blood sugar issues without driving yourself crazy. And it's actually really good news because these things that I'm recommending is really not that different than what I usually recommend. I don't know if you noticed that, you know, planning to get hungry, having foods available, having a balanced plate, tuning into your body are things that I talk about a lot. It's just when your blood sugar levels become compromised, you just got to be that much more attentive and aware. And there's other tools at your disposal, like a glucose meter, that could actually really help you tune into your body even more. So I hope this video is helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you get out of this video? And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for your questions. And thank you for being a part of my world. Happy eating, everybody. Bye.